Jalagisiwonihi. Do you speak Cherokee? Sio, welcome back. Or I can say Shio to my Eastern friends. Thanks for joining. Today is my rant video. Plus I have a few phrases I can teach you. And I'll just start out by saying that from time to time you will hear me say that I encourage you to learn from the organization that you are from. Learn from your own Cherokee Nation or Eastern Band or Kitawa. Learn from the materials that you want to learn from. If you are Cherokee Nation, I encourage you to start with Ed Field's courses online. There's 3 levels. You can also learn from JP and Woy's presentation. They travel around and do different events. If you have a survey that you're given, please fill it out and say that you're interested in language events, if you are interested in attending. This video presentation overall is initially based on JP and Woy's vocabulary list. But I encourage you to fill out surveys, once again, if it doesn't even mention language, in the other section, or is there anything else you'd like to learn about or do? Whenever they offer you that opportunity, please, if you're interested in language information or courses or events, please add that in. If you've already filled out your survey, you can go back in and edit it in most cases. For the most part, we're here to have fun. Many of you have a strong passion for learning the Cherokee language, which I certainly appreciate. So, wado and ski to my Eastern friends. It appears to be because of the approach that I take to teach the Cherokee language that I've encountered some encouragement, which is very positive, but also lots of resistance. While I continue to teach the material which has already been promoted, I also have invented a system that breaks this process down further. And I adamantly believe that it is necessary to learn Cherokee slowly for people who did not grow up with it. If Cherokee is your first language, you have a great advantage over people who have never spoken it before. And this is why I believe that learning the syllabary is important. And once you take the time to slowly learn the syllabary, I believe it will greatly benefit you in learning the Cherokee language. And I think you'll enjoy it more. This is why I invented the Clockface Syllabary. I added my own notations, and I added a consistent phonetic representation, which I've gone over in the past and which you've seen in the videos. And these are all designed to represent the uttered sounds of the Cherokee words, phrases, the sentences, the language. But just uttering these sounds does not mean you know how to speak Cherokee. We're trying to learn together both the correctly ordered syllable sounds, the correct emphasis, the correct nuances, and the meaning. And additionally, I try to teach how to recall what we study. I believe that's essentially important in learning a language. If you go to a presentation and 2 hours later you've forgotten, then more focus, I believe, should be on how to retain that information, how to study that in a way that you can recall it when you want to. But I do believe that learning the syllabary is a great start. Now, back to the opposition I've had. I often feel like Jerry Maguire in that one scene that he does where he says, "I am out here for you. It is an up at dawn, pride-swallowing siege that I will never fully tell you about." I laugh when I think of that because it is sometimes how I feel. I would like to think that passion for the language and teaching the language would get a red carpet and you wouldn't have resistance. But that's not exactly the case. It's not my experience. It's not what I've encountered. When I have my Cherokee hat on, it's all about the Cherokee language. It doesn't matter if those people who oppose my efforts simply don't like my personality. Maybe they know my political views. I don't express them when I'm teaching Cherokee. Maybe they don't like my religious views, which I don't express when I'm teaching Cherokee. Typically, I might make a few comments, but I typically do not get into politics or religious views or things like that. It's possible people just don't like the invention or the approach. Maybe they don't like the system and method that I use to teach, and that's fine. But the language should not suffer. If someone has something they don't like about me or how I do things, the language should not suffer. And it should not be stifled so that other people don't have as many opportunities to learn the language. It's a dying language. And as much as people are doing things about it, right now, it's not offsetting how many speakers we're losing. It's not offsetting quickly enough how many speakers we are losing. I think we're making great gains. I think the immersion school is a great idea. I think there are a lot of great things that are happening, but I don't think it's enough. And therefore, I think the language should take a priority over many other things. I largely believe that the Cherokee language chooses you. And I believe this is why most of you watch the videos. I believe you're drawn to learning Cherokee. And I'm thankful for that. And this is also why I encourage you for your success, and I also encourage you to try to bring your friends along. I believe there's a reason and a purpose for your passion for learning the Cherokee language. And you're going to hear variations in the language. You're going to hear different pronunciations. You're going to hear different words that mean similar or the same things. You're going to hear different dialects, and that's all okay. Just start where you're at, and you can learn those things down the road. I'll try to bring some of those things to light as we go through these videos. I'll try to avoid it being confusing in any way, but I do think it's helpful to have comparison for the different dialects, because at some point you will encounter them. I give these videos to you for free, and all I ask is that you acknowledge that I put them together, that I am the inventor of the Clockface Syllabary. If you use any of this material to teach others, I'd prefer that you let me know. And perhaps I can design some specific material for you. But I'd also like to be acknowledged as being the person who developed the system. And I think that's a reasonable thing, considering that I really want everyone to have this for free. So you've heard me say this next word. You've seen it in the background here. I've said it at the beginning of most, if not all, of the videos. Idalena. I just wanted to give a breakdown because I haven't given a breakdown before, even though it's a word that comes later that we're going to use for the total recall system. Idalena. Now I break it down into my Bickerdike phonetic system, my Bickerdike extended transliteration. I, da, a, le, a, na, a. Now the reason I did the different colors here is because this relates to the Clockface Syllabary characters that I've designed. The red lines on the Clockface Syllabary represent the vowels, the long red lines. And these represent the consonant sounds. And I've even broken down each syllable in this way for the Clockface Syllabary characters. But Idalena, this means let's begin. The phrase and word that I have for you today is Gado de Jadoa. Gado de Jadoa. This is the syllabary. I don't have the Clockface letters here. It would be pretty elaborate to write them on the board. But it is Gado de Jadoa. Gado de Jadoa. I've broken this down with the standard transliteration in blue. Gado de Jadoa. And I've also broken it down in the extended transliteration, the Bickerdike extended transliteration. Gado de Jadoa. And you can see I put the accent marks in here, but I capitalized down below. Now I put these in orange parentheses to show that there are variations that you can use in saying this, and you'll hear this. It can be Gado de Jadoa, Gado de Jadoa, or it can be Do de Jadoa, Do de Jadoa. Or you can drop that last vowel sound, and it can be Do de Jado, Do de Jado. And this means, what is your name? Do de Jado is asking, what is your name? I do have the notations here. It's 112, which converts to TTN, and I use the keyword Titan for my memory cue. Now let's just take this first letter. I wanted to show a further breakdown on the Clockface letter. I did an extra red outline for the vowels to show you that they're fairly spread out. The long red line shows the vowel. The short green line shows the consonant. And this is how you use the Clockface letter, or the Clockface syllabary characters. You always begin with green. Green means go. You end with red. Red means stop. And this is how you would read an analog clock. You would read this as 3:02. You always start with the shorthand and then go to the longhand. So if you're color challenged, that's okay. Start with the short arrow and then use the long arrow as your reference. So we do the green and the short arrow for the G sound, and the long red arrow for the vowel sound, ah. So it's G, ah. And you put those together. G, ah. Ga. Now I like to think of gauze being used across the middle. That's how I remember the ga sound. Ga. And that's how you use the Clockface syllabary system. Thanks for joining. Thanks for letting me rant. I hope you will be returning back to learn more. Take it slow. Review the videos. Take it one step at a time. Go back and learn the syllabary one character at a time. You can use this system. You can use your own. But I just encourage you to learn one thing before you go on to the next thing. Please tell your friends about these videos. I'll see you next time. Wado. Ski. Dona da goha'i. If you want to see more videos like this one, click subscribe and share this link with your friends. If you'd like to have all of these memory tips in one place, then in place of one fancy drink through a drive-thru, you can treat yourself to a Cherokee language book like this one. and then you can learn all 86 Cherokee Syllabary characters at your own pace. Or keep coming back to this site for more videos, whichever works best for you. You can use the Cherokee Total Recall system to memorize an entire syllabary and more. Visit www.dpbickerdike.com to learn more.